Peace be unto you once more, and grace from our Lord Jesus Christ and God the Father, and greetings from even God, the eternal Spirit that fills all things and created all things. So welcome again to New Jerusalem. I'm going to reveal something to you which you may not have seen, but I'm going to reveal to you the train of the Lord, and that the train of the Lord, when it is at rest, it's in the form of a G. So the train of the Lord at rest makes a G. So I'm going to prove that today. Alright. So just wait, stick with me, and carry me on a journey. This will be interesting. I found it very interesting, and the dogs were howling very loudly after I finished reading the chapter. Alright, so let us begin. Numbers chapter 2, starting at verse 2. Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by their own standard with the ensign of their father's house. Alright, so the ensign is basically a sign that is set up, and it said they shall pitch. That means they shall settle right there. Right, they shall make their tent right there. It says the ensign of their father's house. For example, if they were of the tribe of Judah, there's an ensign for the tribe of Judah. Or if they were of the tribe of Levi, there's an ensign for the tribe of Levi, right? So it says, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. Verse 3. So they're going to pitch about the tabernacle, surrounding the tabernacle, okay? Verse 3, it says, and on the east side, toward the rising of the sun, shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. So Judah shall pitch on the east side. Right, so this circle, I'm going to put it over here for the east side. Okay. East side. And this J, that J is for Judah. Alright, that J is for Judah. Okay, so it says that JU is for Judah. Alright, so it says, on the east side, toward the rising of the sun, shall they pitch. Shall they have the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies, and Nahshon the son of Amminadab shall be captain of the children of Judah. Verse 5. And those that pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar or Issachar, right? So see, Issachar also on the east side. Right, so this is Judah and this is Issachar. So let's read verse 7. Verse 7 says, then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliab, it says, then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliab the son of Helon shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. So we also say Zebulun. So we say Judah, Zebulun, and Issachar on the east. This is the east. Hold on, too far from the board. Hold on. Okay, so this is the east. Let me put that. Okay, this E, that E is for east, so that's the east. Alright, that's the east. That's the east. Okay, so it says, verse 10 says, on the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben. On the south. So this is Reuben. Right? Reuben. And it says, verse 12, and those which pitch. So in Numbers chapter 2, remember this is Numbers chapter 2, it says, Numbers chapter 2 verse 12, and those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon. So it's Simeon. Tribe of Simeon. Okay, tribe of Simeon. And it says, Verse 14, then the tribe of Gad, and the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Eliasaph the son of Ruel. So we see Gad also. So this G, so that G is for Gad. So we see Reuben, Gad, and Simeon. Reuben, Gad, and Simeon. And this is the south. This is the south. Or the south side. That's the south side, okay? Yeah. So this is the south side. Alright. So then now it says this is verse 17. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp. So the word midst means middle. Right? So the tabernacle where the Levites surround are in right here. So this is the tabernacle. Tabernacle. This is the tabernacle. Okay? This is the tabernacle. The tabernacle. And it's in the midst. Maybe I put it up too high. Okay, so this is the tabernacle, okay? And it says, and the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp. So this is in the middle, because right here, I'm going to have another tribe right here, I'm going to have another tribe right here. So it says, verse 18, on the west side, so now we're dealing with the west side. The west side. Okay, the west side. Okay, the west side. This is the west side. It says, on the west side shall be standard of the camp of Ephraim. So Ephraim. Alright, Ephraim. Ephraim, it says, on the west side shall the standard of the camp of Ephraim according to their armies, and the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Ammihud. Verse 20, and by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh. Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph. Ephraim and Manasseh. So Manasseh is on the west side with Ephraim, right? And then it says, verse 22, then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni. So say Benjamin. Benjamin. So Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin, right? And they're on the west side. Right, so this is the west. Okay? Okay. Yeah, the east. Alright. So now it says, verse 25, the standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side. So now we're at the north side. Dan. Okay, tribe of Dan is at the north side. It says, the standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies, and the captain of the children of Dan shall be Ahiezer, the son of Amishadai, Verse 27, and those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher. The tribe of Asher. Okay. So we see Dan and Asher at the north side. It says, verse 29, then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahira, the son of Enan. So Naphtali. Alright. So these are the tribes of Israel, right? With the tabernacle with the Levites. The Levites surround this. Right? The Levites are in charge of the tabernacle. Right? Their office is things pertaining to the tabernacle, right? And the instruments of it, the instruments. Alright, so now let's do this now. Oh no. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to rub out some lines, remove some lines, and we're gonna see what the formation gonna be like after I remove these lines. Oops. Alright. So what is this? I have just made a G, the letter G. This is the letter G. The letter G. Alright. So this now, I'm going to show you that this is the Lord's train. That's what I begin speaking about, the Lord's train. The Lord's train, okay? So this is the first part of the train. The tabernacle is the first part. How do I know that this is the first part, the tabernacle is the first part, or the head? Or the head. The head, alright? Let us prove that. Let's read Numbers chapter 3. Numbers chapter 3 verse 45. Take the Levites, it says, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel and the cattle. So notice it says, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn. Right? So the Levites are instead of all the firstborn. Levites the first, are the head. Right, the head. Right, it's a little better. The head. Alright. So this is the head, the first. Right, the head of the train. The head of the train. Okay, it says, I take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. Let's read verse 41. Numbers chapter 3 verse 41. And you shall take the Levites for me, I am the Lord, instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel. Okay? So the Levites, they had no inheritance among the children of Israel, for the Lord God was their inheritance. Right? And this is the head of the train. Alright, so let's go to right here. Let's go to, let's read Numbers Alright, Numbers chapter 2 verse 31. This is Numbers chapter 2 31. It says, all they that were numbered in the camp of Dan, all they that were numbered in the camp of Dan, it says, the camp of Dan were 100,050 and 7,600. They shall go hindmost with their standards. They shall go hindmost. Hind. This is the tail. This is the tail. So this is the tail. That's the tail. Can't say that word. The light. Alright, let me write it up here. This is the tail. So this is the tail and this is the head. The head. So see, this is the head and the body of the train. Okay, so when the Israelites would go forth to war, the tabernacle and the ark would go forth first with the Levites before it with horns, right? Horns and trumpets to blow. Okay. Let's read. Let's read Numbers chapter 8. Numbers chapter 8. Numbers chapter 7. Yeah, Numbers chapter 7. Numbers chapter 7 verse 12. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab of the tribe of Judah. So this is also the first. Hold on, this is also the first. The first. Right, so Judah is also the first. This is the first. And then this, which is second, is also the first relative to these. So Judah is the first, the head. The head right here, the head. The head and the tail. Head and tail. It says, and he offered his offering the first day. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah. Okay? And let's read Numbers chapter 7 verse. Numbers 7 verse. Numbers chapter 7 verse 67. Numbers 7:67. No, verse 66. Numbers 7 verse 66. It says, and on the 10th day Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. See? So each tribe had a day when they should offer. And Judah began the offering. Judah was the first to make the offering. And Dan would be the last, the tail. Head and tail. So this is the Lord's train. Let's read. Let's read Isaiah chapter 6. So the Lord has a train. Okay? And this is what I'm showing you. The train at rest is in a G position. It has a G. So let's read. It says, Isaiah 6 verse 1. In the year that Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Now the tabernacle was where the Lord would appear above the mercy seat upon the ark. Right? Upon the ark. Right? And notice it says what? I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne. That's the mercy seat in the tabernacle. The mercy seat in the tabernacle. And the tabernacle would go forth before all the tribes when they went out to war. So this right now is as a serpent coiled up. I hope you can see the serpent coiled up. The head of the serpent, the tail of the serpent, and the serpent is coiled up right now. But when the serpent is ready to go forward to war, it becomes straight, a straight line. I'm going to show it to you. This will unfold into a straight line. Alright, this will unfold into a straight line. So it says, in the year that Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. His train. Alright. So the train has a head and a tail. Right? A train travels like a serpent. Right? Let's go right here. Let's read Isaiah 9. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 14 says, "Therefore the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day." Head and tail. Head and tail. See that? Head and tail. So it says, the ancient and honorable, verse 15, Isaiah 9:15, the ancient and honorable, he's the head. The ancient and honorable, he's the head. See that? The tabernacle which is in the midst of the children of Israel, had the ark of God with the mercy seat where the Lord would appear and speak to the priest, right? Or the high priest. Yes, he would speak to the high priest, sorry. The high priest. It says, remember the tabernacle has two compartments, the holy place and the most holy place. So it says, therefore the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day. The ancient and honorable, he's the head. And the prophet that teaches lies, he's the tail. The prophet that teaches lies, he's the tail. So the symbol for Dan is a serpent. And the symbol for Judah is the lion. The lion is the head. And the serpent is the tail. Right? The tail. Head and tail. So now I'm going to rub this out. I'm going to rub this out now. Hold on. Before I rub it out, let's go to Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9 verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision. So thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were the heads of lions. So the symbol for Judah is the lion. The lion. The lion, right? The lion. So this is the head. It says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Verse 18, by these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. So fire and brimstone is coming out of the head of the train. The head of the train. Alright, the head of the train. And it says, for their power was in their mouth and in their tails. Their mouths and in their tails. You see that? In their mouth and in their tails. It says, for their tails were like unto serpents. Their tails were like unto serpents. Right? It says, and heads. And had heads. So this tail also had heads. These tails are also heads. It says, and with them they do hurt. And with them they do hurt. So this head and this head, they do hurt. Right? Judah and Dan. They do hurt. Judah and Dan. So let's rub this out now. So I said, all right, go to Peter, then read the verse for me. Okay, so this part now, this is the train unfolded. This is the train in a straight line now. So this is what? Dan, Ephraim, Reuben. So he sent me the email. I forwarded it to the lady. See, and I forwarded her husband because you're supposed to send them. You're supposed to send it to the email on the file. She's a primary. All right. So now we see Dan, Ephraim, Reuben, Judah, and the tabernacle. This is the head, and tail. You see head and tail. Okay, so head and tail. This is the train in a straight line. The train in a straight line. So this are the Levites are right here. Levites. The Levites are at the head with the instruments for blowing, right? Which are trumpets. Now let's go to Joshua, book of Joshua. Alright. This is Joshua chapter 6. Joshua chapter 6. Joshua chapter 6 verse 6. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark, ark of the covenant, and let the 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of rams' horns before the ark of the Lord. So 7 priests bore what? 7 rams' horns, which are trumpets. 7 trumpets, 7 priests who bear the ark. They bear 7 trumpets, right? So it says, let's read verse 8. And it came to pass when Joshua had spoken unto the people that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord and blew with the trumpets. See that? They went before everybody and blew with the trumpets. They were blowing with the trumpets. Alright, the trumpets. Alright. TR represents trumpets. Alright, the trumpets. Alright, so it says, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. See, the ark followed them. So the priests with the trumpets were before this. Before the tabernacle where the ark is. The ark is in the tabernacle. Okay. Now let's read verse. Joshua 6 verse 13. And the 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. Remember, the ark is in the tabernacle. The ark of the Lord, it says, went on continually and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the rear guard, which is the tribe of Dan, the rear guard, the tribe of Dan, the rear guard came after the ark of the Lord, and the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. So this is the Lord's train. And the throne of the Lord is here. The throne of the Lord is at the front, right? So notice it says, and the armed men. The armed men. Let's read. Let's read Peter. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 1. 1 Peter 4 verse 1. For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves. So notice Peter said, arm yourselves. Right? So the priests which passed before the ark, they were armed. And so was the tribe of Dan, they were armed. Right? With what? With weapons. And it says, for as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. So you should arm yourself with the same mind. Equip yourself with this mind. So he's talking about the weapon, this mind. This mind is the weapon. Let's go again. So now let's go back to Joshua again. Read Joshua. Joshua chapter 6 verse 13. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually and blew with the trumpets. And the armed men went before them. The armed men went before them. You see, and Peter said, arm yourselves with this mind. Likewise, also arm yourself with this mind. Alright? Okay, Joshua chapter 1. Joshua 1 verse 14. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side Jordan, but you shall pass before your brethren armed. Peter said, arm yourself with this mind. He says, before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them. So the men which are armed is for your help. Right? Them which go before the tabernacle armed are for your help. Right? They are armed with this mind, the mind of Christ. Let's read this. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 16. For who hath known the mind of the Lord? Who has known it? He said, for who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. But we have the mind of Christ. So I'm saying, arm yourself with this mind. Proverbs 6. Proverbs 6 verse 11. So shall your poverty come as one that travels, and your want as an armed man. See, so your poverty shall come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. So Peter said, must be armed with this mind. See that? Armed with this mind. So they which passed before the tabernacle, before the priests bearing the trumpets, were armed men. And those are Levites. Levites. Right? And we see Judah right here. Judah is also the head first. All of these are heads. These are all heads. Heads of the house of their fathers. Right? Heads. So all this is heads. Okay? Heads of the house of their fathers. Let's go back to right here. Let's go back to Numbers again. Numbers chapter 1. Numbers chapter 1 verse 4. Numbers 1 verse 4. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, everyone head of the house of his fathers. Everyone head of the house of his fathers. So remember the diagram I showed you before. I showed you that Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun is right here. Reuben, Simeon, and Gad. Ephraim, Manasseh, and I think it was Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. And this is Dan, Naphtali, and Asher. These be the 12 tribes of Israel. So that is it for the lesson. Right? You can watch prior videos to this to get more insight into this, but I'm just showing you, giving us a brief lesson today. A brief lesson. Okay? So this is the Lord's train. And yeah, peace be unto you. Till next time.